Hello, this is Unit 14 from Grammar and Vocabulary, Verb Complementation number 1. So we're going to see lots of verb patterns, right? Now, on our first page, 224, please go over all the activities. I wanted to focus on the idiom on activity 4, sorry, blank number 7. Think on your feet, right? So you need to do something very quickly, right? Another very nice expression, speaking of feet, is vote with your feet, right? So shoppers voted with their feet and avoided the store. So it's a very interesting way of saying that you don't support something, right? By physically leaving. And this other expression, to wait on somebody hand and foot, so to do everything they want. He seems to expect me to wait on him hand and foot, right? All right, and there's another word that we're going to see, oops, sorry about that, a lot, which is pride in this unit, right? The basics doesn't add anything I want to say, so you may go over it on your own. I'm going to take you directly to section number 1, page 226, and you will find this question of pride. And here you find the first example. I take pride in my work, right? You take pride in, but you pride yourself on something, right? So whenever you use this pattern, remember she always prided herself on her appearance, which is she took pride in her appearance, right? And the other one is avail, which is a beautiful verb, a very formal way of saying, of using something, right? We have these expressions of little or no avail. Something is of no avail, so of no use, and you do something to no avail. The doctors tried everything to keep him alive, but to no avail. And then avail yourself of something, which is use, right? It's just a formal way of saying use. Guests are encouraged to avail themselves of the full range of hotel facilities. And the other verb that is very interesting here is compose, because it has a different meaning apart from this idea of composing music, writing music, right? We can also speak about composing yourself, right? To manage to control your feelings. So Emma frowned, making an effort to compose herself, right? Compose. Very good. That's all I want to tell you about this section, right? So very few comments. If we go to page 227, you will find the expression an old dragon, a dragon lady, which is well, a typical way of referring to a woman in not a very appealing way, right? A woman who behaves in an aggressive and frightening way, right? So a dragon lady, or an old dragon. Okay, and I wanted to focus from the paraphrasing activity on the verb come, right? It says in sentence number 2, of course, most heating systems come on and off automatically nowadays. Now, I think, oh, sorry. If we check come on, right, that's a phrasal verb that we use for services to begin to operate. She set the oven to come on at 6. When does the heating come on? Come on. So be careful with this verb. This is the one you use when power is out for some reason, right? And when it is back, we say it came on. The lights came on, right? Power came on. You can say back on, but not just it came back, the way we say in Spanish, right? So be careful with that choice. Okay, do all the activities there. We're going to go to section number 2. You will see that in this unit, we'll go quickly, swiftly over all of the choices. There isn't a lot for me to be said, so possibly this is going to be an easy unit for you, right? Here we talk about many verbs that can need to be followed by the fact that, so I invite you to go over that list. And actually, I wanted to go over this expression, which is to die intestate. die intestate. Intestate, right? So without having made a will, right? And the other expression you will see here is to emerge unscathed. I want to check the pronunciation, right? Which is uninjured, not harmed, unharmed, unscathed, right? So the hostages emerged from the ordeal unscathed. Okay, no comments about the activities except for the fact that activity 3 is kind of out of whack. I think the key went crazy, so you can skip it altogether. And as regards sections 3, there isn't a lot to be said, right? The explanations are very obvious, so you go directly to the activities, and the activities are a piece of cake. We'll check them in class. So maybe you put a stop here, and for the next class, we will focus on section 4, right? Now we are on page 232. And remember here to pay attention to all the filling activities, which we will go over in class. But here you will find lots of expressions for problems, right? Fraught, right? Something it actually all of these phrases that we're going to use, not all of them, sorry, fraught with and riddled with, right? Very similar. A situation is fraught with danger, with difficulty, with problems, fraught, right? And you can also use fraught to mean tense. You look fraught, a fraught silence. Remain fraught, things are as fraught as ever, right? Tense. But in this case, fraught with meaning full of something or filled with something, and pleasant, and riddled with, all right? Which sort of, well, here, actually the referential meaning would be to make a lot of holes. So the car was riddled with bullets, a bullet riddled car, but then to be riddled with something which is full of something again, but especially bad or unpleasant. To be frank, fraught with is usually for unpleasant things, right? His body was riddled with cancer, her typing was slow and riddled with mistakes. The woods are riddled with rabbit holes. I'm going to go back just to show you that mostly this is a question of collocation, right? So fraught with danger, difficulty, and problems. You remember that when we use bold, sorry, I couldn't find the word bold. When we use bold, when dictionaries use bold, it's because there is a collocation, right? And then you can have a look at the examples here again, just in case. All right, maybe you want to stop the video to look at the answers. All right, as regards the activities on page 233, well, you have some very interesting expressions of the beaten track. So something that is not frequently visited. Let's see. Off the beaten track. They live miles off the beaten track, so far away, right? Hard and fast plans. So something you cannot change. Hard and fast. Very nice expression. Very rigid, as it says next. Hard and fast, right? Hard and fast rules is a typical collocation, right? This situation isn't hard and fast, so we don't know what to do about it. It's not fixed. That's the idea, right? And we're going to go to all the expressions with drive. Sorry. And we're going to go little by little. Here it says, blank 14, you'll drive yourself to destruction. Right? That's a very unusual expression, right? And typically the idiom is children drive me to destruction, right? It means, so you see the children are driving me to destruction today. You become upset, excited, or angry. Usually angry, right? Kids drive me to destruction. Well, it means they make you angry, right? Now, you can drive someone to destruction round the bend. Children can also drive you round the bend, make you crazy. round the bend or the twist. Remember, Americans will use around, and it means crazy. She's gone completely around the bend. The kids have been driving me round the bend today. And yes, there's yet one more: to drive people round the bend, to drive people to destruction, and to drive people up the wall. I think the example was also children drive me up the wall. Let's see. The noise is driving me up the wall, okay? Making me angry. Okay. Very interesting expressions. Okay, section 5 then. Just marginal comments here. Well, I believe wholeheartedly that, unshakable belief that, whatever. I believe in you. I trust in you. You can also say I trust you, right? But this trust in is maybe more emphatic. I wanted to comment on the word staunch, right? You have under point number 3, different words connected with types of believers. You have a devout Muslim. I know you know the word devout, but maybe the pronunciation was not something you had in mind. Devout, right? A devout Muslim, a strict vegetarian, a leading expert, a practicing Christian, a firm believer, a diehard. So devout, right? Christian or Muslim, a diehard. Now, actually, we'll go, if I'm not mistaken, to the idiom old habits die hard, right? So it's difficult to change things. Used to say that things change slowly. Old habits, traditions die hard. And you also speak of a die hard. Actually, here in your course book, it is hyphenated, but here it is styled as one word, a die hard. So someone who opposes change, right? A few diehards. So a diehard conservative, right? And then you have a staunch supporter. Staunch, I don't know if you know this word. Maybe you're uncertain about the spelling. A staunch, right? Which means very faithful. Staunch supporter, staunch ally, staunch Catholic. Actually, Americans tend to spell this word with just an A. Though you see here a staunch friend, steadfast meaning loyal, less commonly stanch, right? So that's how they spell this word. Well, then in the next column you have very nice idioms like I know London like the back of my hand, so I know it very well. You know something inside out, you know it very well, or by heart, or backwards, right? Very nice expressions, very useful. I want to focus a little bit on this expression, idiomatic expression, which is it's beyond me. It is under number 5. Beyond. Okay, let's see how I will find it. Yes. Yes, it's beyond me. Well, fortunately, because it was under beyond somebody, right? It's beyond me. No es está más allá de mí. Ojo, be careful. It's impossible for me to imagine. It's beyond me why she wants to marry Jeff. So I cannot fathom that. I cannot understand it, right? Maybe you want to say, if you want to say está más allá de mí, in English you could use it's out of my hands, right? But be careful. It's beyond me, so it's impossible to understand. It's impossible to imagine. I also like very much this idiom, well, or collocation. It passes all belief. I don't know if you know it. Here. Past belief or understanding. It passes belief. It's impossible to believe that she could do such a thing. So it passes belief is more general. When you use beyond, you are speaking about yourself. It is beyond me, yes, that he should do that. So be careful with that one. Now go on with all the activities. Frankly, I have no more comments, so that is all for this unit, very quick. And then we'll go into unit number 15. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.